Hi there! It is so good to see you. I'm John Merriman, and this is your Tuesday morning guitar song. Have you ever tried to sing harmony? I'm not talking about being in the freshman chorus in high school, hanging out in the tenor section. I'm talking about standing next to somebody, they're belting out a rock and roll song, and you're trying to sing harmony. I know what you're thinking. Singing is impossible. Harmony singing is totally impossible. And I understand, but I'm here to tell you that harmony singing is very difficult to do. And we are so surrounded in our world today by the media with music and with songs and with harmony singing that I think we don't stop and really appreciate how much hard work, how much effort, how much practice went in for those harmony singers to sing harmony, to learn their craft. And I think in our world we would be more joyous and more expanded if we would slow down and appreciate things. So in terms of harmony, I've got this thing. It's called the Harmony Challenge. And here's what you do. You get a song that you really know well and you really like. And you grab a friend and you go out to your car and you drive around. And I think you know where I'm going with this. And you take turns with your friend singing harmony over that song. Now the trick is you can't overthink it. You can't think, well, I've never had any music lessons, so I don't know what notes to sing. Now that's not it. What you do is you just wing it and try to sing some notes that are pretty or go along well with the song you're listening to. And you will see that before long, this harmony challenge gets incredibly ugly and hilarious. And you have a good time trying to sing harmony over this song. But what happens above all is you get an appreciation for just how hard this harmony singing is to do. And I've done this harmony challenge for years. I've sung harmony in my car, and I was so terrible at it that that's why we do it in a car, to save the rest of the world from our singing. But I've gotten fairly good at it over the years. I'll go fairly good, because it's so darn hard to do. Well, anyway, what's got me going on this Harmony Appreciation Day is our band today. It's the Hollies. And the Hollies were in that first young wave of rock and roll bands that were known as harmony singers. And over the years, we've had a lot of favorite harmony bands. Some of my personal favorites are like Queen, the Eagles, the Civil Wars, and today I love Pentatonics and Fleet Foxes. Those are great harmony bands. But that first wave of harmony bands that came out of the 60s, they had something special, I think. They had a youth and an innocence and an effervescence that I just don't feel in more recent bands. And those are great bands, don't get me wrong, but there was just that X factor in those early bands that I really appreciated. Now this is just subjective to me, I know. And I think it was because, now this happens today, but back then it was almost a rule that those young bands were composed of kids who grew up together. And they did not have the musical education that we have today. They were doing the harmony challenge. They were laughing, playing, singing, doing harmonies for years together, growing up. And by the time they got to be 18 or 19 years old, they were pros. They had this incredible harmony, but they still had this youth and this fun. So let's break it down a bit. Like the Beach Boys, 3 brothers and a cousin. Think of another one, the Bee Gees from Australia, 3 brothers. Simon and Garfunkel, they were elementary school kids growing up together. The Everly Brothers, they were brothers. And today's band, the Hollies. It was formed by Alan Clark and Graham Nash, and they grew up together doing the Harmony Challenge. And it really shows. I just love the Hollies. They're one of my favorite bands from that era. And I remember the first time I heard the Hollies, it was like, I was young, of course, but it was like liquid joy just flooded my body when I heard that harmony singing. I was raised in rural Nebraska and we had no drugs, but it was liquid joy. And this wasn't Ernest Hemingway or Shakespeare. These were light, frothy pop songs lyrically. But that three-part harmony carried such a musical wallop. And artistically, this artistic expression was as valid as the Mona Lisa to me. I mean, what is art? It's supposed to have an effect on you. And this harmony singing had an incredible effect. So it's a very valid art form for me. The Hollies were formed in 1962. And they got their name. They were doing a gig at a local hall. And remember, they're just kids. They didn't even have a name for the band. But it was Christmas time. And they needed a name, so they thought, well, we like Buddy Holly, so let's just do the Hollies, and we got the Christmas tie-in. And the name stuck for the rest of their career. So be very careful what you name your band. And then in 1963, 1 year later, they were discovered at none other than the Cavern Club in Liverpool, and that's the birthplace of the Beatles. And they were discovered by a gentleman who worked for Parlophone Records, the Beatles record company. And that shimmering three-part harmony made them a treasure in their home country of Britain. And they were more popular there, actually, than they were here in America. They had about 3 times as many top 10 hits in England than they did in America. They were kind of a treasure for the British, the Hollies. And the lineage of great harmony bands went right through the Hollies, because Graham Nash, one of the founders of the Hollies, went on to form the greatest three-part harmony band of all time, in my opinion, and others, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. So, you know, they didn't have as many hits here as they did in Britain, but now they have something here in this country that Britain has never had. And that is, they are the subject of today's Tuesday Morning Fun Fact. Here's your Tuesday Morning Fun Fact. The Hollies are in possession of 2 world records. Number 1, they are tied with the Rolling Stones for being the longest running band that has never disbanded, still performs, and still records. Number 2, the Hollies possess the record for the longest time between number 1 hit singles. This happened on the UK chart. In 1965, they had their first hit with a song called I'm Alive. And then in 1988, they had their last number 1 hit with a reissue of He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. That is a whopping 23 years between number 1 hit songs. That's doing pretty well. We salute you. Hey, let's play some music. The Hollies never had a number 1 hit in this country. The song I'm going to play made it to number 5 in 1965. It is my absolute favorite Hollies song. It is Bus Stop. So please, stay with me. Don't go away. Thank you so much for stopping by today. It is so good to see you, and I love spending time with you. Please hit the like button, send this show off on your social media, go to my website and subscribe, and I'll send this to your inbox every Tuesday morning. Do your harmony challenge and let me know how it turns out for you. And remember, you're never ready for your day without a song in your heart. Thanks a lot. See you next week. Bye now.